Canadian tower development for the record books. But is Toronto getting nervous about too much density? Also, a renowned Canadian architect's perfect room. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Welcome to Globe Now. A new development in Toronto is going for the record books. The taller of these two towers will be 92 stories, or 304 meters. That's taller than First Canadian Place, which is seen as the tallest building when you don't include giants like the CN Tower. Now, this new development won't break the world record. That's held by the 1,000-meter building going up in Saudi Arabia. Still, it's pretty impressive. It's the brainchild of developer David Mirvish and renowned architect Frank Gehry. But get this, it's actually a scaled-down version of the plan. The original idea was to have 3 towers, but city planners were not buying it, which is a little surprising. After all, this is the same city that has, according to the tracking firm Urban Nation, okayed the building of more than 80,000 condo units since 2000. And there's more than 70,000 more condo units in the planning stages. Well, joining us now is Tara Perkins, the Globe's real estate reporter. Welcome, Tara.
Thanks for having me.
What is making city planners anxious about this project?
Their main concern is that it's going to set a precedent, right? So they're actually going to go to the lengths of amending the city's official plan to make sure other developers can't automatically copy this height. And I guess dialing back, height is their big concern, right? Height and density, the number of units that are going to go on this parcel of land, because they have to worry about already stretched infrastructure from roads to transit to water to all of the things that we need to feed that building.
Interesting. So lots to think about for city planners. We put to our readers the question, what do you think about the development? And we've got some interesting comments. Here's one from Ted Healy. I hate them, but as one developer said, the population is rising. We go up or we go out, and we have gone out as far as we can. A commute from Barrie or Hamilton is as insane as it is commonplace. I mean, what do you think about, the nervousness from the city? Because these condos were to address the issue of urban sprawl, weren't they?
They absolutely were. They absolutely were. And the city has encouraged density over the years, and they did want to encourage downtown development to address urban sprawl, as you mentioned. The problem now, as anyone in the GTA knows, the commutes are awful. We've kind of got a reverse commute going over the last little while. It's gone faster than people thought. Developers are building more than people thought. Economists are saying we're currently building more than the population's going to demand. So we're building upwards of 20,000 units this year, and next year could be much higher. And that's above what demographics would suggest we actually need, economists say.
So are we at the point now where, 15 years ago we were talking about not enough density? Is it a point now where it's like, almost we've got too much density in the city and we need to kind of curb back the tower development?
It's just something that I think we need to think through. We need to step back, and we need to plan out a little bit more. Do you want a 92-story tower popping up in the middle of this district and creating a need for all these resources in this one little pocket? How do you want to spread that density out? How to sort of master plan it? So I think those are the issues that they're dealing with.
So someone like, David Mirvish is thinking that this condo development still makes sense. What do you think this development says about the current market?
Yeah, interestingly, he said to me yesterday, I'm not a condo developer. I'm someone who produces musicals for a living, right? So he's going into this hoping that the economics of it are going to work out. And they have a plan where they could phase the project over a period of years if it turns out there's not enough buyers to buy these condo units. They could take their time building it sort of piece by piece. What he really wants is a legacy project, right? So he's got Frank Gehry building this piece of art in the sky, in his opinion. And so will there be cost overruns? Will they actually get it done? How will the economics work out? Will there be buyers? It's going to be fascinating to kind of watch that unfold if the project gets the green light from the city.
Fascinating. Thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you.
Well, we want to hear from you. What do you think of the latest David Mirvish, Frank Gehry Towers development? Has Canada's largest city reached peak tower development? Now stay with us. After a short break, we visit the home of a renowned Canadian architect. Well, we've looked at some big residential projects. Now let's shrink the scale and look at something much smaller, a smaller space, that is. Canadian architect Jack Diamond has worked on prominent projects from Montreal to Moscow. And now his Toronto home is up for sale. He took the Globe inside and offered these gems on the perfect room.
The secret of a good room is the proportions, obviously. Most rooms are not square. They're really oblongs, rectangles. Sounds like boasting, but people who come into this room often say how beautifully proportioned it is. And the long side is the outside wall with great light coming in. So natural light, open to the privacy of your garden, that's the secret. But stepping back from that, to me it's either a north-south street where you get east and west light, or it's the south side of an east-west street where you can open the house to the private sunny side. And the north side you can close up and you get privacy, and obviously you don't get a lot of light. Oh, sunlight, you get light, but not a lot of sunlight, particularly in wintertime. It's really the back of the house, so to speak. That's where we really live out of doors or get our natural light.
Well, that's it for today's show. We want to hear from you. What are the essentials of your perfect room? And on the story about the tower development in Toronto, do you think the city is reaching the point of too much density? You can find us on Twitter. We're at Globe Now. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Thanks for watching.